Hi Pokefans, welcome back to part 23 of my Pokemon Scarlet gameplay. Last episode, maybe a few days ago, we did complete the gym test for Medali City Gym. Today we'll be going ahead and getting our 5th gym badge and then moving on forward to explore a bit more of the Glassy Dome Mountain. Definitely I am very excited for this, and here are all of my team members. Most of them are around level 50. I think we are still good with the gym level. Even though we are a bit over leveled, I think it's pretty fine by now. Alright, talking to this NPC right here, he's gonna ask us if we are ready to face the gym leader himself. And since we did say yes, we are finally getting to enter the battle court. It seems like this guy who we talked to at first in this restaurant is actually the gym leader. Hello, I'm Larry. I'm assigned to work as the gym leader of Medali Gym. Good job on making your way through the gym test. To be honest, this gym test was pretty amazing. And well, maybe try the other dishes on the menu too sometime. Everything's good here. Alright. Anyway, my boss will dock my pay if I spend too much time chit-chatting. Let's get this battle over with. Okay, definitely he seems to be an office worker and is in a hurry. Maybe some kind of salesman. Thank you for doing business with us today. I, Larry, will be at your service. That is definitely an intro. Not something I would ever use, but of course since he is an office worker, he'll go ahead and use it. He does start with a Komala, which is a pretty cool Pokemon, although it will try to put your Pokemon to sleep. So I would recommend taking it down in one hit if possible. And this gym leader is actually a normal type, so if you do have a fighting type Pokemon in your team, I think you'll have an easier time taking him down. But in my case, since I don't have a fighting type Pokemon in my team, I do have to try and use the Pokemons I have. The Kamala is at level 35, so definitely the level in which trainers are definitely catching up with us. Pretty cool, and I'm really happy about it. At least we were able to take it down in the second hit, so we are good. He is gonna bring out Dunsparce, which is a newer evolution for Dunsparce in this game. And it's pretty easy to evolve as well. I think it evolves around level 32 when it learns the move Hornrill. I did decide to switch out since my Artibax fell asleep. That is of course due to the ability of Komala, so I did have to switch it out. Over here, Kilobattle should be easily able to take down this Pokemon. Definitely that was pretty cool. And this is the move. I think I by mistake said Hornrill. It's actually Hyperdrill, and it's a new move in this game which is pretty nice. But of course, we were able to take it down. Let's see which is the next Pokemon, and it's actually Staraptor. Now this is a Pokemon that is fully evolved, and I presume it will be quite powerful. And since it's a normal type, Terra-type, I really do not have anything to counter it. So I do have to be a bit careful with this one. I did finally decide to go ahead and switch into Armarouge just to see how we can actually take it down. Staraptor actually does not have that good of a special defense, so I think I can take it down in one hit, at least with Armarouge and its special type moves. Here it comes, and let's see at what level this Pokemon is. This is at level 36. Pretty fine, around 15 levels lower than us, but still I think we are having a chance of taking it down in one hit. Right here the restaurant chef is actually trying to cheer up Larry, which is pretty nice. And of course it seems like there are more people coming to watch our gym battle. Here they are, and definitely this is gonna be pretty fun. Alright, let's see if he's gonna terrestrialize his Pokemon right here. And if he did not, I would have kept Kilovatral up in front, but since he does terrestrialize it, I do have to switch it out. Let's see what happens next. I'm really excited to see if we can take it down in one hit. But of course, Staraptor is a really cool Pokemon, by the way. It is a part flying and normal type. Definitely gets some really good moves and it's super fast. And its attack stat is pretty good as well. But its defense stat, like I said before, isn't that good. So I was easily able to take it down with a flamethrower. Pretty nice. And we have won our 5th gym badge as well. Ooh, okay, it seems like my Mustrada is actually trying to learn knockoff. But of course, I did not teach it that move. I feel like Night Slash is way better than knockoff and it's way powerful. So I'm not gonna go with that move for now. Now that we have won our next gym badge, I think it will be much easier for us to go ahead and catch the other Pokemons around level 50 at least. So that should be quite a lot of help for us. Of course, here is gonna be our badge. But it seems like he is a bit hungry and is asking us to join him for a meal, which is pretty fine. I think this was one of the easiest gym I had and I really enjoyed the battle. Of course, the badge is different in this one as well. The only thing is that I wish we could actually see our gym badges. I haven't really found out to see it in the game itself. So the only way I can actually go back to look at it is probably when I have them in my video. But I did say something wrong. It seems like we can only catch until level 45. We can still catch the higher level Pokemon, but I think it will be a bit trickier to actually catch them. But of course, that will not stop me from going around and catching more Pokemons. As you might know, I am trying to complete my Pokédex. And for the Violet exclusive Pokemons, I'm not yet sure what I'll do. There are a couple of trading places where I can actually use link trade and get those Pokemons. But for now, I will just wait for it. Ooh, okay, the champion's here. Another gym leader defeated. Well done. Rika informed me that there was an unusual trainer worth keeping an eye on. It seems she meant you. I'd guess as much. I had the pleasure of observing your last match. I was impressed by the fantastic skill you showed. If you manage to keep your momentum and achieve the champion rank, I'll be very interested in inviting you to the Pokemon League. And hey Dash, I've got my team all picked out. Of course Nemona comes back now. And I saw you battling the gym leader. You just keep getting better. How good to see you again, Champion Nemona. It's certainly been a while. I guess she's gonna go to shock. Whoa, wait, La Primera? With Dash? Yeah, really, like both of them do give you the same answer though. Wait, did I forget to give you all the information? Everyone calls Miss Geeta La Primera because she's the real number one, even higher than us. She's the top champion. I do indeed hold the claim, alongside my role as a chairwoman of the Pokemon League, that is. That's pretty cool. We didn't really know this information before. I thought you were too busy to spend your time on checking in on gyms. I'm not here to inspect the gym. I've come to scout some rather promising young talent. And she refers to us. Whoa, I look away for 1 second and you're famous, Dash. But hey, I found Dash first. You may be La Primera, but you can't go stealing her for me. And that is Nemona for us. Haha, I suppose I have to get in line. That's right, come on Dash, time for our battle. Quick, let's go, the battlefield's calling. One moment please. Huh, what is it? I would very much like to observe this match, if that's alright. Oh, totally fine by me. I guess we are fine with that as well. Of course, we are gonna say yes. Thank you kindly. I'm really excited to see you two face off. Pretty nice. So, I'm actually hoping she'll actually heal our team members. Let's be on our way then. And we are gonna be exiting the gym building. I'm really excited to see where we'll have this battle, of course. I mean, we are in a city after all. As usual, this long cutscene did worry me a bit. I thought the game might have just crashed, but since the screen is still kind of moving, I was still okay with it. You remember how it all works, right? Once you get badges from all the gyms, you get to throw down against the strongest Pokemon trainers around. I guess that's the Elite Four. Yes, you must face the Pokemon League. It is located to the northwest of Mesagoza. I think we have already went there before. The Pokemon League is where trainers are reborn as champions, the greatest honor that they might dream of. Collecting 8 gym badges will set you up to take the champion assessment. If you can face off the challenge of the final examiner and win, you'll become a champion. Just imagine how that moment would feel. Try getting into that champion mindset. Now, set your sight on reaching that big, important stage and let's Excuse me one moment. I believe Dash's Pokemon may be still a little fatigued. Sorry, I got a little caught up in my battle hunger. Well, you should be all in good shape now thanks to La Primera. Okay Dash, time to put on our game faces back on. Let's have another fruitful battle. Definitely pretty interesting, and I'm actually excited to see what new Pokemon she might have added to her team. We know she did have a Rockruff before and a Pawmi, but I don't remember any other team members. Ooh, okay. Her Rockruff has actually evolved into a Lycanroc, which is pretty nice. And definitely my Pokemon is not the right one. I need to switch out Artifacts. I can use Ice Beam and Ice Fang, but I doubt I can make any change. As usual, the Rockruff is at level 36, which is a bit higher than the 5th gym leader. But since we are at 46 level, I think we should be able to take down this Pokemon. That is the second turn and we have taken down the Lycanroc. Pretty nice. I think this is an easier battle for me to kind of train up my Artifacts and get it around the same level as my other team members. The new Pokemon she has actually added to her team is a Goomy, which is really cool. So she is gonna have a Goodra when we battle her, probably in the champion battle. But of course it's pretty interesting and I really like the fact that she has a dragon type Pokemon in her team. Of course I did switch into Tinkaton and we were able to take down the Goomy in one hit. Oof, that was a good one. Your move really had some zing to it. That was nice. I think I would have still taken her Pokemon down even if I was the same level as her team member. The next Pokemon is as usual Pomo, which we have seen before, and of course it's still a Pomo. Maybe the next time we battle her it might have evolved. For now I'll switch into Cloudzyre and we should be able to take down this Pomo with an Earthquake, which is a very powerful move. It seems like all of our team members are around level 36. So if you are taking up the west side of this region first, I think your Pokemon will be around level 36 as well. And definitely this battle should be pretty interesting. She does have a Quaxwell, which I think is her starter Pokemon. So I do have to switch into Kilowattrel. I mean, I could have switched into Meowscarada, which would have been pretty nice as well, but Kilowattrel will definitely do the same amount of damage. She will definitely terrestrialize her starter Pokemon though, so if you want to kind of counter her moves, I would definitely recommend you guys go ahead and terrestrialize your own Pokemon as well. There we go, she is gonna be doing it right now. Personally, I don't think I really need to terrestrialize my Kilowattrel. It is pretty high level and I think we can still one-shot this Pokemon. But if you have chosen Quaxwell, it's a really good Pokemon by the way. It is a water and fighting type, quite unique typing, and I think it's a pretty good Pokemon. Although I believe Kilowattrel is a really good opponent for this Pokemon just because of its electric and flying type. There we go, we have defeated her once again. I think this is the third time we're actually battling her. So it's pretty cool to see that her team is slowly building up with us as well. Pretty nice. Let's see what else they have to say now that the battle is over. An amazing display of talent, even against one as skilled as Champion Nemona. That was a splendid match. I enjoyed watching very much. Now even La Primera thinks you're one to watch. You have got so much potential. The way you're going, I better watch my back. You know, since the first time we met, I've been really sure of one thing. You're gonna become a champion, no doubt about it, Dash. The rest of these gems, you can take them, 100%, no problem. I agree. In fact, you should take this. Consider it as an investment in your future. Alright, it seems like she gives us Terra Blast, which is a pretty cool move. If a Pokemon uses the move while Test lies, the move typing will actually change. One day, Dash, you and me are gonna have the greatest battle of all. I know it. I'm gonna go train up even more than I already have been. She shows such support and friendship. Or perhaps she hopes you truly might rival her. No, I think it's no mere hope. She seems to have complete faith that you will catch up to her. At any rate, allow me to return you to the gym where we found you. Okay, it seems like she is definitely gonna take us back. But now that we have completed everything right here in Medali City, we have a couple different paths that we can actually take. But of course, before we move on, I definitely want to heal up my team members. We do have 2 different Pokemon centers that we can actually use. So let me quickly go ahead and make my way to one of them. After healing up my team members, I was just checking out the map and it seems like we actually have multiple paths that we can actually take to go to Glacido Mountain. As you can see, there are 2 different paths, but I just decided to go ahead with the one right here. It's actually called Daripasa Passage and it will actually go to another Pokemon Center right in between the mountain. We also have multiple paths from there. We can either go to Zapico City, which is a path I do want to check out. We can also go ahead and take right, which will go to Glacido Mountain and a couple different places. I'm personally really excited to explore for the rest of this video. Definitely we are going to be trying to explore a huge area in between the Glacido Mountain and the Zapico City to make sure we have covered that area. As far as the map shows, it seems like we don't really have a direct path to it. So we definitely do have to kind of go on our own path. I will try to follow the path itself, but in case if I'm not able to follow it, maybe you'll see me just cutting through different areas. My end goal is probably to reach our next city. We do have 2 of them and I'm not really sure which one it's gonna be, but we'll try to cover them both. Well, as you might have seen, I am gonna be speeding things up a bit right here since we don't really have that many trainers. I'm also gonna try and see if we can find any new Pokemons, although I highly doubt it. Most of these areas are the ones that we go through in the beginning of the game, so probably we will have the same Pokemons that we've seen before. But of course, it's always nice to go ahead and pick up some items that you can find around and just explore the area itself. If you jump down here, it goes back to the Area 0 gate. You might remember we did see it in the last episode and I believe that we will be coming back over there at some point. Maybe once we completely complete the Legends of Path storyline. We do have, if you might remember, the 5th Titan still remaining, which I will take up maybe after the next 2 gems. I definitely do want to kind of raise the level of which the Pokemon I can actually catch before I take up the last Titan. As far as I've seen in my own playthrough, the last Titan is gonna be pretty tough. You definitely do have to have either a Fairy type Pokemon or a Ice type Pokemon, which will definitely help the battle itself. But as far as I've seen, I think if it's not a Dragon type Pokemon, then probably it's gonna be a Water type Pokemon since the area is in a lake. So if you have a grass type Pokemon for that, definitely quite helpful. Right here we did defeat a trainer with Covernite, which is pretty nice. By the way, I really like Covernite as it's a steel and flying type. It's quite powerful and definitely a really good addition to your team if you need a flying type Pokemon. And you know, steel types are quite resistant by themselves, so definitely pretty cool. Right here, Tinkaton was trying to learn knockoff, which I think I'm still fine with, so I went ahead and taught it that move. I really like to have diverse moveset in my team members, so that was pretty nice. Since we are next to this cave, let's quickly go ahead and go through it, explore and see if we have any other new Pokemons that we can actually get. It was pretty small, but it does end in between this huge area which is kind of like an underground, but if you can look up, it will actually go ahead and show the path to Glacido Mountain itself. We can also find a lot of Gimmighoul's all around these mapping. Right here, this is the Zapco one. I think the one that is gonna go up is gonna be the path that we do have to take for Glacido Mountain. But before we go to Glacido Mountain, I do want to check out this whole cave. By the way, it's a really huge cave system and it does loop around, so you don't really have to worry about it. But I do want to make my way back to Zapico City just because we haven't really explored that small route. You might remember there was a path which was going out from Zapico City and it will actually come to this cave right here. There's definitely gonna be a small path in between the Zapico City and this cave which I do wanna explore. I'm pretty sure it goes up side to the Glacido Mountain, which I think we can actually scale through right now since we do have the gliding functionality as well. But I think my main goal right here is to just battle all of these trainers and of course, as usual, trying to find some new Pokemons. I hardly think we will find any in this cave, but you never know. Now, if you are one of those people who like to just skip out all of these exploring and go directly through the Glacido Mountain, I would definitely recommend going up the path that is kind of like a cliff. That is the correct path, by the way. And it will get you through to Glacido Mountain pretty quick, and it will also go to the direct path which will go to one of the cities. So it is a straightforward way, but of course if you are interested more in exploring like me, then definitely this cave is a pretty huge area to explore as well. Right here I actually encountered a Lucario, which is a really good Pokemon for me to catch, because in this case I can actually try and catch it. Unfortunately, I did not plan for this. I went for Will-O-Wisp the next turn and accidentally took down the Lucario instead of catching it, which is pretty sad. But that's okay. In the offline, I'll come back to this cave. I'm pretty sure it will actually respawn, and if it does, I'll go ahead and catch it. I feel like if you are not really using a Lucario, then the easier way to actually get it would be right here. It's an easier way to complete your Pokédex entry as well. Of course, we have tons of items in this cave, which is pretty nice, and I'm really happy about that. We also have a couple different paths we can take, so make sure that you don't lose your path over here. Sometimes I know it's gonna be a bit confusing. You can definitely take my video right here as a reference if you'd like. I have covered each and every corner of this cave and all the paths that are actually accessible to us. Right here, if you come down, this is actually gonna go back to the cave that we were before. I think it will go back to the Pokemon Center. Yep, there we have it. That is the Pokemon Center. So we did go from a long loop, which is pretty nice. But now that we are here, I think I can go ahead and just train up my team members and talk to this NPC in the meantime. It seems like we do have to defeat around 4 trainers, and apparently we haven't really defeated them. Going back through the cave, which takes me back to Zapico City, we do have a platform in the right as well, which I explored. And of course, it is another short cave, and here we are back outside. Pretty nice. It seems definitely it is snowing right here, and ooh, okay. Another new Pokemon right here, which is Driflim. Never mind. I have caught this one. Since I have been catching a lot of Pokemons, I started getting confused on which ones I have and which ones I don't. And it seems like we are actually overlooking the one of the Team Star bases. I think this one was the Poison base, the Poison Crew base, and pretty nice. Going back to the path, I was able to find another trainer right here, so let me quickly battle him. On my way back to this trainer, I actually found a Cupchew and I was able to catch it. It's another new Pokemon added to my Pokédex as well. It seems like this trainer actually has a special Tauros, which can be only found in the Scarlet version. It is a fire and fighting type, quite unique and definitely a Pokemon who you can actually add to your team. I believe if I didn't have Armarouge, I would have added this Pokemon. Rather than having a fire and ghost type, I prefer to have fire and fighting type because fighting types are sometimes quite helpful. So it's pretty nice to see one right here. Luckily, I did switch out into Kilovatral and it should be able to take down this Tauros in 2 hits. Although it did get lucky and gave me a crit hit, that was pretty bad. But since we are making our way back to Zapico City, we can heal our team members over there. There we go, we have defeated this trainer as well. Pretty nice. I'm really interested to see if we can find any new Pokemons around the Zapico City. Most probably we'll find the ones we have seen before, but at this point I actually didn't realize I didn't catch a Pokemon right around here. It's actually a Sneasel and I have seen this Pokemon so many times in this area, but I just thought I had already caught it, so I never tried to catch another one. But in the offline when I was checking it, I realized that I didn't have a Sneasel or a Weavile, so I went ahead and caught one as well. Well, here is our next trainer before we reach Zapico City. We are so close to the city itself and I definitely do want to visit the Pokemon Center. I think it has been quite some time before we came here, so it's pretty nice to see it back again. And this guy actually has a toxicity at level 35, which is pretty powerful. I did have to switch into my Cloudzyre and try using Earthquake on this one. Definitely pretty surprising. To be honest, if I did actually go forward from this path when I initially came to Zapico City, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have been able to defeat any of these trainers. Hence, I think this is pretty nice to see them now. Alright, let's try to take this Pokemon down. Of course, Cloudzyre is a bit slower. It's kind of like Quagsire itself. So according to the speed stat, it's pretty bad, but I think it's still powerful. It can tank some moves, so I'm not too worried about it. It definitely does have a better design, so I really like it. Right here I found another new Pokemon, which is Magneton. In this game, you can easily go ahead and evolve it into Magnezone if you have a Thunderstone. And I think you would have one by now if you have crossed the Eastern Province area too. It's a desert and you'll probably find a lot of Thunderstones over there. So definitely a really good addition to your team if you like a strong Steel and Electric type Pokemon. Probably some of these days I do have to make a Nuzlocke challenge with just Steel type Pokemons. I should see how that goes. But of course, I am trying to catch this Magneton right here to add it to my Pokédex. So let me use a Great Ball and hopefully we can actually catch it. Yes, there we go. So we did find a new Pokemon. I'm really happy that we made our way here. Now that we have it, we can move on and go back to the Pokemon Center since we don't really see any other newer Pokemons. Although I did see a path that we did have a chance to actually take. So I will go ahead and check out that path before we move back into the Glassy Door Mountain and explore further for the next cities. I'll let you guys go ahead and enjoy the background music for now since we don't really have anything important that we are picking up or battling. Right here we have our next trainer, so let's go ahead and quickly challenge him. I think that the current path that we are actually on, it might be a dead end even though it says Glacido Mountain. Maybe if we are able to climb up these rocks, in that case we would be able to go through, but for now I think this is a small dead end and not the direction in which we are actually supposed to go. But of course we do have a couple of items here, so I'll go ahead and see if we can actually pick up those items as well. Right here my Cloudzyre is a bit confused, but I'm hoping it can actually take down by using Sludge Wave. Mojam is pretty cool. I have used it before. It's a Psychic and Fairy type, I believe. But the issue with it is that it doesn't really have that good of a defense and special defense. So if you are planning on using it in your team, then you have to be a bit careful about the defense thing. It might go down pretty easily if you aren't careful. It's kind of like my Wugdio, which you might have seen before, and I had so much trouble just keeping it in my team. Luckily this trainer also has a Kilowatt, which is pretty interesting. I wasn't really expecting it, but of course since we are having it coming out, I will go ahead and switch out. I think Tinkaton should be able to take it down. And I could have also gone to Kilowatt right here, and that would have been good as well, but I just decided to use another Pokemon for some time. I think I haven't really used Tinkaton that much in this episode, so it's nice to see it out here. There we go. We have defeated him. That was pretty nice, and it seems like Amaroosh is catching up with my other team members. It's usually Amaroosh and Artibax who are the two team members who keep falling back. The others quickly level up. Maybe it's just that those two Pokemons have more EXP, that might be the case. Sometimes some Pokemons just need lesser EXP than the others to kind of level up. And right here I was trying to jump up. Maybe we aren't able to just navigate through there for now. So I will come back to this area maybe once we get the ability to climb. In this case that would probably be after we defeat the 5th Titan. It's gonna be a long way, but looking around it seems like we are almost at the top, and I'm just waiting to see if it's a dead end. And here we are. This is kind of a small dead end right here, so I will just pick up this item and look around a bit more. If you jump down here, you go back to the mountain itself, by the way, and you go back to where the Pokemon Center was. Of course I can actually jump down, and that will be an easier way to go down there. Alright, looking around, I think we can go up here, but this is gonna be another dead end. I think once we do have the ability to climb these rocks, that is when we can actually go through. But sadly, I fell through and we are back in the passage. But that's fine. I think we can go through the passage. This is the path to Glacido Mountain itself. And we can just pick up all of the items here before we move on. There are of course couple different trainers. I think around 3 of them in this passage itself. And definitely we can go ahead and challenge all of them. I think starting from this passage we'll probably be seeing a lot of ice type Pokemon, so definitely if you do have a fire type Pokemon in your team, it's a really good place to level them up. This trainer although has Gastrodon, I think she has both the colors of Gastrodon. This case it's blue and the other one is pink. So I did decide to go ahead and switch into Neostarda, which should be able to take it down and run it. Thankfully the muddy water doesn't do too much damage, so I'm not too worried about it. For now, it seems like Neostarda's moveset are pretty good. It does have only one grass type move, but definitely the other moves are quite good with the coverage. And of course this trainer did have their second Gastrodon, pretty nice. There is a section in the cave that we are in that will go back to where you might have seen the Lucario, but if you have already explored that place, I would just recommend you guys ignore that part. I'll go ahead and show you guys where it is. It's a bit trickier, but you can definitely go through this cave without going to that place, so definitely you can skip it out. There we go. We have defeated this trainer, and apparently now there is a blizzard inside the cave. Although it's understandable since we do have a small opening on the top of the cave, which would definitely let the snow come in. Now as you can see, there is an item, a TM, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get to it. So I guess the only thing we can do is ignore it for now and move on forward. Right here, going through it, you might see a black void, and that is the void through which if you fall down will go to where the Lucario was. So be a bit careful, you might accidentally fall into it while running with your Koraidon or Miraidon. So definitely be a bit careful over there. Right here we have our second trainer, and he actually has a Blizzy. Blizzy is one of those Pokemons I have yet to catch for my Pokédex, so it's pretty cool to see it right here. It's pretty easy to evolve as well. All you have to do is just catch a Chansey in the wild and just level it up once. You will be easily able to get a Blissey. Personally, I do have a Chansey in my box, but I haven't got the time to kind of level it up. If you do have spare items like those EXP candies that you'll probably get when you do a raid battle, you could go ahead and use it to level most of these Pokemons up and evolve them, but I sometimes prefer just running around and training them up myself. Right here, for some reason I kept using Discharge, which I shouldn't have. You know, Blissey does have a really good special defense but not a defense, so I did in the end went with Spark, and we were able to take down the Blissey in one hit. Another thing I would recommend is that if you have already got a Chansey for your Pokédex and you have one in your box, then if you find another wild Chansey running around, go ahead and just defeat it. Chansey and Blissey gives you a lot of EXP, and it's very easy to go ahead and level up your team members when you battle them. I would definitely recommend anyone on that. And usually you will find Chansey kind of in the West Province Area 1 and Area 2. That's where you have, that's the area between the Medali city and the port city, so definitely you'll be able to find a lot of Chanseys over there. Pretty easy and a really good way to kind of train up your team members and level them up pretty easily. Other than that, here we have our last trainer in this cave. Once you exit this area, you will be able to see the snowy mountains, and I'm so excited for it because we have so many new Pokemons to catch over there. The good thing about the snowy region or the snowy mountains in this game, and I would say probably the Glacido mountain itself, you have a lot of fully evolved Pokemon here, especially the ice type Pokemon. And once you go down from the mountain in the other side, you'll probably find the other Pokemons with their fully evolved forms as well. So it's a really good area to complete your Pokédex. I think majority of all the Pokemons will be found either in the mountain or the areas that are in the other side of it. So really excited to go ahead and complete my Pokédex as much as I can over here. There we go, we are able to defeat this trainer, and now that we have picked up all of the items here, it's finally time for us to go ahead and head up the mountain itself. Of course, we do have a lot of trainers in this mountain, and I think we have 2 Pokemon centers where the NPCs will actually ask you on whether you were able to actually defeat all of the trainers. So I will be looking around for all the trainers in this area and try to defeat them all just to make sure that I'm able to get the special items that the NPCs hold. I do have to be honest, some of the items I have got from these NPCs have been so good. They do give you some really good held items as well, so quite useful. This trainer actually has a Vagrio of his own, and it always pains me to see a Vagrio in red color. The first time I did see one was blue color, which is its shiny form, so I'm just used to that and still not yet used to this one. But of course, we are easily able to take it down. It doesn't really have a defense or special defense that is that good, so it's pretty easy to defeat either way. There we have it. We have defeated this trainer. Now, even though I want to explore a lot in this episode, I think I will look around to see in which direction we are supposed to go to reach the next city. Now, the one thing I really wish that was included in the map for Glacido Mountain is the path that we can actually take. If you see the map, usually if it's a grassy area, it will actually indicate where is the actual path and where is the grassy areas. But for the Glacido Mountain, there's nothing as such. All it says is, it shows as the white color. So you don't really have where the path actually goes through, and it's really tough to actually find it. Right here it's a bit easier since we are not yet in the mountain itself, but once we get to the mountain it's a bit difficult. Right here we are actually going through the path itself, but it doesn't look like a path anymore. It looks more like we are just trying to climb a mountain rather than going through a path. But of course I'm just trying to look around as much as I can and making sure I'm not missing out any of these ice type Pokemons. Well, here is our next new Pokemon to add to our Pokédex. It's actually Delibird, and I think this is the place where you'll usually be able to find them. It's right next to the icy pillars. There are a couple different other Pokemons that you can actually find here, which do spawn a bit rarely, but you can actually find them. So I'll go ahead and show you guys all the Pokemons you'll get around this area. But before that, let me try and catch this Delibird. As you can see, it's a bit easier to catch these Pokemon since they are still in lower level. You can definitely try using Nest Ball as well, which will help you a lot if the Pokemon is lower than your team members. Here's the next Pokemon, which is a Cryogonal. Again, another new Pokemon we have yet to see. Pretty cool. Cryogonal is just an ice type Pokemon. I should actually go ahead and switch in Armarouge up in front just to make sure that I am able to kind of catch it before it either goes down or runs away. Let me try using another Great Ball. And of course it did not work out, but I think once its health goes down a bit more, we probably will be able to catch it. Never mind. It did try using Freeze Dry, although it wasn't that, effective on my Pokemon. At this point, I did decide using another Pokeball, and for some reason I tried Dusk Ball and we were able to catch it. So, not sure what happened right there. I mean, usually you use Dusk Ball if it's inside a cave or if it's night, but apparently it actually worked. Never mind, it's night. But not only that, we do have our next trainer right here, and looking around it seems I'm quite closer to a city as well. So probably we'll be able to visit the city once we look around this icy ridges. Usually in a game I really like the Dragon Tamers because they usually have some really good Dragon type Pokemon. In this case, this lady actually had a Dragonair, which is pretty cool. But I do have to say this, I really like the design for the Dragon Tamers in this game. Usually they do have like a full suit and a hero's cape, which is pretty nice, but I think the new model for this Dragon Tamer is pretty cool. Right here, going in the opposite direction from the city itself, just to explore, I was able to find a Frostlass. This is a fully evolved form of our Snorunt, and instead of struggling to kind of evolve my Snorunt, this is an easier way to actually get this Pokemon. I do have to say Frostlass is a bit in the rarer side. Sometimes you might not see it spawn, so you just have to kind of leave this area and come back. That will reset the spawn and you will be able to probably encounter it there. Luckily, I was able to find one, so let me see if I can actually catch it. As usual, since it is fully evolved and it's at level 45, the same level until which I can actually catch a Pokemon, I was lucky enough to catch it in a quick ball, which should be surprising to me because something is really up with the quick ball in this game. Usually when I have any issues with catching a Pokemon and I use a quick ball, I am able to catch that Pokemon, so something's up with it. I'm not sure if it's a broken mechanism or something, but it does seem to work a lot of times even though I'm not using it in the very first turn itself. Pretty nice. But I was able to find another new Pokemon right here. It's a Beartic. I think we have already caught its pre-evolved form, so this is the first time I'm actually seeing a Beartic. Pretty nice. Even though my Amarouge is confused a bit, I should still be able to go ahead and try to use a move. Psyshock is a really good move, and that is a really good range at which I can try using a Great Ball. Let me see if we can catch it. Yes, there we go. So this is the 5th Pokemon I am catching in this area. So I'm really happy about this. We are catching so many new Pokemons around here. Looking around, there is one more Pokemon that I do have to catch. And I haven't seen it spawn yet. But at least we can try looking around to catch it. Of course, I was lucky enough to find this Pokemon. Apparently I didn't catch it, but this is not the Pokemon I'm looking for. Once we catch it, I think I'll run around a bit more to see if it will actually spawn. I did try using a Archer Ball right here. Maybe the issue is that I do have to bring its health down a bit more before I can try and catch it. Of course, I don't want to accidentally kill it, so I do have to be a bit careful. There we go. Let me try and use knockoff, and that is pretty good. I think I'll use this move a couple more times just to see if I can take its health down a bit more. But before that, let's try using another Great Ball, and we were able to catch this one as well. Pretty cool. By the way, my Pokédex is around 200 entries filled. That was in the last episode, so I think by now it should be at least 250 entries filled. We have been catching a lot of different Pokemons, and here is the one I was talking about. It's actually Avalugg. It's a pretty cool Pokemon, Ice and Rock type, I believe. It's pretty useful as well if you're trying to use the Ice type Pokemon in your team. And I think I should find a Glaceon as well. If you run around in the Glaciodome mountain, you have a chance of spawning a Glaceon, and you can definitely go ahead and catch it as well. Let's see if we can catch this Avalugg right here. I'm gonna be using a Ultra Ball to make sure it's much easier to catch, and there we go. Now that we have caught Avalugg, I do have to catch its pre-evolution, which I think is right here. But before I go to do that, I did want to heal up my team member. Amarouge was so close to fainting. But here we have Bergmite, which is the pre-evolution of Avalugg, and it's pretty cute. It kind of looks like a walking snow cone upside down, and I really like its design. Personally, I think it's pretty cute. There we go. We were able to catch it with a quick ball. Once again, not really sure what's happening with the quick ball, but I am able to catch Pokemons even in the second turn with it. Now that I have caught most of the Pokemons in this area, I think I can finally go ahead and talk to this NPC right here, who is apparently standing at a dead end. I mean, you don't have any path after this, it's just a cliff. But of course, he does have a Tauros. I really do not like this Pokemon, and I want to take it down before it does anything. Thankfully, I do have Psyshock on my Amarouge, so I should be able to take it down in one hit. Now, we have seen the variant for Pokemon Scarlet for Tauros, but we haven't really seen the Violet version. I'm pretty sure that there should be at least one trainer in this game who would probably have that Pokemon, but I think we haven't yet encountered that trainer. Really hoping we can actually see that trainer at some point. There we go. This is the end of this cliff. You can of course go down, but let me make my way back, and I'll make my way back to the Dragon Tamer whom we did battle before. Looking at my map, it's usually helpful because it does direct me to the path where I'm supposed to go to. And there we have the Dragon Tamer. Going up this slope, we do have a Pokemon gym building, which is pretty nice. And turning around, if you go up the next cliff, you'll be able to find a Pokemon Center. So this is where we are. It seems like we do have to defeat 10 trainers in Glaciero Mountain to kind of get an item from this NPC. So I do have to look around a bit more. Maybe the trainers are in the other side and not over here. So maybe I do have to check it out. Right here I did try climbing up this mountain that is on top of the Pokemon Center, but sadly I wasn't able to climb it up. Maybe once we do get the ability to kind of climb up the mountain itself, maybe we'll be able to kind of explore it after that. But of course, since we were at the top of this mountain, or at least almost at the top, I did want to try out the gliding mechanism. So I went ahead and tried that out as well. Right here we are gliding towards another city, is it? Yep, this is actually the second city in Glaciero Mountain. I think the name was Montenevera, and yep, I should have made my way through here through the path itself, but since we have come here through gliding, I will not explore the city. I will not explore it for now. I think the best thing I should do is just go ahead and heal up my team members. Go back to kind of try and find the other trainers. As I mentioned before, there are 10 trainers over here, and definitely I have skipped a lot of them. Since I wasn't exploring the city, I went ahead and remembered that I had to talk to this NPC to get his item, which is an expert belt. Quite cool. Now going back to Montenevera, I think I'll go ahead and look around the city itself to see if we can find any more trainers around here. We do of course have a path that comes up to this city itself, and I think we haven't really explored this place, so it's a good time to actually explore it. To be honest, I do feel like most of these trainers battles are quite easy. They do tend to have only one Pokemon in their team, and since it's mostly an ice type Pokemon, it's so easy to take them down with Amarus. Here this guy did have a Delibird, and we were able to take it down in one hit. I'm pretty sure that one of these gyms are going to be an ice type gym, and we are able to take down that gym leader pretty easily, especially since we do have Amarus in our team. Now that we have defeated him, let me cross over through this bridge and see where this goes next. It seems like this definitely goes up a hill, but we are also coming up to the 1 hour of our recording, so I am kind of being a bit worried. I don't think we'll be able to find all of the trainers, but we can definitely try to see whom we can find. Right here, this trainer actually has a Pomod, which is pretty cool. It's a electric and fighting type. Pretty useful, and definitely a really good electric type Pokemon to add. I had a Pawmi and I evolved it to Pomo, but I never added it to my team. I still do have to get myself a Pomot as well, so at some point I will go ahead and evolve it. Evolving Pawmi or Pomo into Pomot is pretty easy. All you have to do is get a Pawmi for yourself at the beginning path, which is Poco Path. From there, all you have to do is level it up to level 18 to evolve it into a Pomo, and then run with it for 1000 steps to kind of evolve it into a Pomot. Back to where I was going, it seems like both the cities are connected through the path which I just took, and there isn't any other path over here, so maybe we do have to go through the next exit of the city itself. Since it has been quite a huge video, I think I'll go ahead and try to end out this video over here. In the next video, I think I'll go ahead and pick up the trainers that were left and also try to challenge both the gyms. These gyms are so next to each other that I could possibly just go ahead and defeat them both in the same episode. Personally, I am very interested in seeing how the gym battle goes. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty tough as well. I mean, definitely the gym leaders are catching up to the same level as my team members, and I do have to be a bit more careful. And here I found a Snover, which is another new Pokemon for me. I think I haven't yet found a Abama Snow as well, so I do have to try and catch it. Did try using a quick ball on this one, but for some reason it didn't work. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and try another Pokeball. This time I did went for Pokeball instead of a Great Ball, and I was able to catch the Snover. Great. Well, it's all good as long as I can catch it. Anyway, now that we are here and we have visited 2 new cities and explored Glacido Mountain as much as we could, I think this is a really good place for me to end out this episode. In the next episode, we'll move on forward, challenge both the gyms, and it's gonna be super exciting. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please like, share and subscribe if you like my videos. And if you'd like to support me more, check out the links in my description. I'll see you guys in the next episode.